Kia ora everybody, welcome back to the podcast. This is Creative Curiosity. I'm your host. My name is Haunui. I know it's been a long time since I've really done anything like posting on social media. It's definitely been a long time since I've uploaded a podcast. And this episode is going to be about what I've been up to, the new opportunities that have arisen. But let's go back. So just before I stopped posting, I was on like a huge wave of posting every day, and I had just finished 75 hard. Took a day off and then started phase one. I've done another podcast about that. If you want to check it out. And then about a week into phase one, I got sick. It was like a cold, but whatever sickness I had, I ended up pretty much being in bed for 2 days. And phase one requires a lot. If you've done 75 hard, phase one is 75 hard, the activities you do plus some other ones. And then I went on the shoot. I got an opportunity with the Hood & Co. It's a video production company. They do more than that, but that's the best way to describe it. And they're in Auckland. And I did a podcast with one of the owners and founders, also creatives behind the company, in February or January, I believe. James Rua is his name. Anyway, he approached me and they got a job through their channels, and the job was filming out here in Tuhoi and Te. And they knew that I lived over here and that I was kind of interested in that sort of area of work, like video production and things like that. And then he asked me if I would be keen to jump on, and he said it would be like a 5-week job. I said, of course, like definitely keen. And so we went on the shoot. It was a 6-day shoot. That was just the production phase. They did a bit of pre-production before that, a few weeks. And the 6 weeks, so we started up in Waikaremoana, Moana, and we did about 3 days there, and then we went to Ruatahuna, made our way back, and then they ended up staying here in Whakatane. Of course, I stayed here at our own house. And we did some shooting right around here, like around Waimana, Tainautua and all that. And all up, we got about 11 and a half hours worth of footage, and it's to make a small, among other things, but it's pretty much just to make like a small 2.5 minute video. And I learned heaps. I was the first assistant camera on that job, and I've never done it before. Like, this is my first time being like an assistant camera. I've done like a couple of small ghosting jobs really for Wakahuia, and that's because of the bro Whata Flavel, so thank you to the bro. And as the first assistant camera, first AC, my job, among other things, was to pull focus. Pulling focus, so now the camera that I'm using is on autofocus, and it just tracks my face. So if I come forward like this, it should be in focus, yep. And then if I go back, it goes into focus. But my job is to do that, and that's to do that manually with a little device, wireless device called a follow focus. And it's got a wheel on the side, and I turn it, and that determines where the lens or where the camera is focusing. And it's super nerve-wracking because I hadn't done it before, and I knew that this was like quite an important job, so I didn't want to, have all the shots be blurry. One of the other things I did was really just assist our DOP or director of photography or cinematographer with his job, to make his job easier. So that was, making sure our lenses were always on hand, switching lenses, cleaning things, carrying like gear around for him, like carrying batteries. And why I say among other things is because we had such a small crew. We didn't have other roles there, so we sort of had to jump in and out of certain roles in order to just make the production go smoothly, really. And for me, what I learned my job was really just anticipating like listening out for James, our director, and Chris, our DOP, and listening to things that they might need for an upcoming shot or something like that. Like example would be they'll be talking, like maybe they'll be doing a drone shot or something like that, and if I was onto it, which I tried to be as much as I could, I would get the drone out and set it up. So all James, our director, had to do was just go over to the drone and then just, go get the shots that he wanted to get. Or, like an example was James was on the drone and it was a sunny day, and it was a bit hard to see his phone, which was a screen to monitor the drone footage. Like a little thing is to just put shade over that, so he can see what he's up to. Just little things to make other people's jobs easier, especially the director and the DOP. I loved it. One huge thing that I buzzed out at was the fact that the camera that we used, we hired a camera, was an Arri Alexa Mini LF, which is the same type of camera that they used to shoot 1917, which is the film that came out this year. And it was the DOP on there was Roger Deakins, who's like a god cinematographer. If you know, you know. And for me, because I'm a geek when it comes to gear and things like that, when I saw it and when I learned that we were going to be using it, I was like a kid at a candy store. We did a camera test in Auckland and I was just buzzing out like the whole time. And just to give you fellas a bit of context about, the cost of movies and things. So we just hired this stuff. And I don't know the price that we hired these things for, but we were talking to one of the guys who hired it to us about the cost of this camera. And just this camera alone, just the body, which is about this big. It's not big, it's just like a big cube. It was about 120k NZ dollars. No lens, you can't even use it. There's no battery, no lenses, no viewfinder, no anything. So that's just to give you fellas a bit of an insight into gear and one of the many reasons why films cost so much to make, because of the stuff they use and the people they employ. And another big lesson I've taken away from this past month is really the power of having designated roles and having different people specify in certain areas. So usually the way that I shoot, not that I shoot, like I just shoot myself and just shoot podcasts and things like that, or vlog. I do it all myself. So I do sound myself, I do, I video myself, I edit all myself, all those sort of things. And having designated roles, which is the stuff you see in the credits, it just makes, this is only my limited view at the moment, I'm still learning as I go. It makes the whole process easier if you have people who are just specialists at what they do. And then everybody works together to make this final product, which is usually like a film or short film or something like that. But yeah, so we did 6 days shooting, and then we had a week off. Oh, I had a week off because the business is based up in Auckland, the Hood & Co. And then this week I've been up there and we've been editing the video. And we did Monday to Friday editing, like a normal work day, like starting at like 8:30 or 9 and going to like 5:30. Finish a couple of days early. And it's just really just opened my eyes to that part of the process, like editing and how much effort goes into it. I knew that it was always going to be hard, like going from 11 and a half hours worth of footage down to 2.5 minutes. And it's just been cool learning of James and just all the subtle, the subtle things in a video that are purposeful and that mean something and that are there for a reason. And because it's such a short video, we want to convey a message that gets to the right audience, that says the right thing, that is, that all the images and things that go together are cohesive and, all those types of things. And I've been learning heaps and it's been really enjoyable. So from that, I'll be doing an internship. They've offered me an internship, which I'm stoked about. which will be about 6 months. And that's what my post about a month and a half ago, no, maybe 2 months ago, or something like that, maybe a month and a bit ago, about looking for accommodation in Auckland was about that internship. So I'll really just be there just to learn off them, to contribute however I can. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And then like if I've learned this much already, I'm just excited about what I could possibly learn over the next 6 months. And now I'm back home for a few days, do some mahi, and then I'll go back up next week, and then we'll finish off this video and then jump into the next jobs. So that's what I've been up to. That's why I haven't really posted much. I've done a couple of moko since then, but not much. And if you've gotten moko from me, you would have received an email from me that that I don't book moko that far out in advance, and that I was only doing moko part-time, and it was to leave time available for opportunities like this to arrive. And it's arrived, and like I say, I'm super grateful. And my ultimate dream, or one of my ultimate dreams, is to become a filmmaker. I've said this before on my page, and if you've been following me for a bit, you'll know that I've been wanting to be a filmmaker for about 3 years, about 3 years, I'd say, about 3 years. And this is one of the many stepping stones towards becoming a filmmaker. For me, I just love film. I love cinema. I'm a huge fan of filmmaking and filmmakers, and they're pieces of artwork. And the idea of being able to one day hopefully contribute to that realm is exciting for me, and I can't wait. And it's cool to be a small fish in a giant ocean. Like, cinema is a thing that I can forever learn. And it's a realm that I can be forever learning, and I can be a forever student. And the other thing is being able to tell stories that that mean something to me, and mean something to our country, and mean something to our Māori people, is another thing that excites me. And I can't wait. If you fellas can't tell, I can't wait, and I'm excited about where I am at the moment. I've got a podcast I've got a couple of podcasts that I've recorded that I haven't uploaded, so those will be coming shortly. But thank you fellas for listening. I hope you fellas enjoyed this. That's what I've been up to. Mō ora.